Good afternoon to all. I welcome the participants to the session on strategic management. Today we will discuss specifically about the corporate level strategy. As you know, strategy is formulated in different levels. Strategy starting from the functional strategy for the functional departments of the organization, then business level strategy for different strategic business units in a multi-product, multi-business corporation, and then the corporate level strategy, and then the global strategy for the multinational organizations. So today we will discuss specifically on the corporate level strategy. So corporate level strategy refers to the decisions and actions taken by organizations' top management in order to decide the overall direction and scope of the organization. It involves making choices about the industries or markets where to compete and how to allocate the funds, that is through the budgetary provision, and also across the different business units, that is strategic business units under a corporate. The scope of decision here making is the corporate level strategy focuses on the organization as a whole rather than the individual business unit or the functional level strategy. It involves the strategic decisions related to the area of diversification of the company's business, either related or unrelated product or services, and then with respect to vertical integration, that is includes the backward integration or forward integration. Then it includes the mergers and acquisitions, that is one unit organization is taking its loss making unit in the same industry. Then strategic alliances, that is can be in the form of joint venture, tie-up arrangement, and the resource allocation, that is funding support for managing the activities and operations throughout the year. Then with respect to the very purpose here is the primary goal of the corporate level strategy is to create the value for the shareholders by achieving a sustainable competitive advantage, that is by utilizing its strength areas to its own advantage, and thereby gaining superior performance and also higher than the ROI, return on investment, and winning thereby the minds of the customers. Then maximizing the overall performance of the organization and also the profitability of the organization as a whole. It involves the assessing the external business environment of the organization, both the micro level environment as well as the macro level environment. Also to identify the opportunities that is available in the external marketplace from time to time, and also related to threats that is being faced in due course of time, the challenges that is coming, how to manage and overcome, and the leveraging internal capabilities, that is the internal factors or the internal strength that is available in terms of organizational structure, organizational culture, and various resources that is available in the organization to gain the competitive edge over the others in the industry. With respect to the concept of diversification, one key aspect of corporate level strategy is deciding whether to pursue the strategy of diversification as a way or means of growth, future growth, or product growth, business growth of the organization, Diversification can be either to the related product and services, expanding into industries or markets related to the company's current business, or the diversification also can be carried out in the unrelated product and services, that is entering completely new industries depending on the potential of the industry and the level of demand and growth. The decision to diversify involves assessment of the potential profits uh, of the in the industry in conducting the business, as well as the level of risk that is involved in the business and the synergies associated with entering the new marketplace. With respect to the vertical integration, it is another considerations in the corporate level strategy is the degree of vertical integration, because the vertical integration can be carried out both in reverse or in the forward stage. This refers to the extent to which a company controls the different stages of the value chain from raw materials to the distribution channels. Vertical integration can be backward, that is controlling the vendors who are supplying the raw materials used as an input in the organization, or the vertical integration can be forward, that is termed as the forward integration, that is controlling the distribution channels, that is responsible for the final or the finished product in the entire geographical area. The decision to vertically integrate depends on the factors such as the cost savings, the control over the inputs or the outputs, as well as the competitive advantage. With respect to corporate level strategy, which involves evaluating the opportunities for the merger and acquisitions activities, uh, the merger acquisition can help organizations to expand their market presence by acquiring the new technologies or capabilities and achieve the economy of scale as well as the economy of scope, or eliminate also to eliminate the competition, that is by reducing the number of market players by taking over one of the loss making or competitors in the industry. This decision to engage in the merger acquisition, it needs a very careful analysis with respect to the target company, what is the cultural, with respect to the cultural fit, and also the potential synergies and the various financial aspects of the company to be taken over. Then, with respect to the concept of strategic alliance, so it is a collaborative partnership between companies that allow them to share the resources, share the capabilities, as well as share the risks. The corporate level strategy involves considering the strategic alliance as a way to assess the new markets, and also to expand or introduce new product services, gain technological expertise, or enhance the competitive positioning of the organization. Strategic alliance can take the form of joint venture, or it can be in the form of licensing agreements, as well as can be the co-branding initiatives jointly with other organizations. With respect to the resource allocation, the corporate level strategy includes deciding how the resources, such as the financial capital, financial resource, the manpower or the human resource, the technological resource, the material resource, uh, should be allocated across the different strategic business units or the divisions of the organization. The effective resource allocation, it involves considering the very growth potential that is been anticipated, the profitability that is expected, and also the strategic importance of each of the strategic business unit in order to optimize the overall performance of the organization. Then, with respect to the organization structure, the corporate level strategy may influence the organization structure and the governance mechanism. Companies they may adapt to decentralized structure sometimes for bringing efficiency and faster decision making to allow business units more autonomy or a centralized structure to enable greater coordination and control. The choice of the organization structure should align with the strategic goals and requirements of the corporate head office as a matter of the policy decision. Then, with respect to monitoring and evaluation, finally, the corporate level strategy needs the ongoing monitoring and evaluation of the performance metrics in order to ensure the strategic objectives are being met. The key performance indicator or the KPIs related to the financial performance and related to the market share, the customer satisfaction, and other relevant factors are used to assess the effectiveness of the strategy and make necessary adjustment accordingly. Hence, a close monitoring and evaluation is very much essential to closely watch what is the performance of the organization and what is planned for the future. Then, with respect to the portfolio management, the corporate level strategy involves managing a portfolio of the business in a multi-product, multi-business organizations. It includes the deciding which business they have to invest and what should be the level of investment for future growth based on the anticipated growth rate, and also the divest or harvest decisions based on their performance and alignment with the overall strategic objectives. The portfolio management, it helps to optimize the allocation of the resources and ensures a balanced mix of the businesses in the organization's portfolio, and also to overall to in order to balance the risk level by across the various product group or business level. With respect to the synergy and value creation, the corporate level strategy seeks to create synergies among the different business units or the product-wise divisions within an organization. The synergy occurs when the combined value of the multiple business units they work together is greater than the sum of their individual values. By leveraging the shared resources, the capabilities, the knowledge, competencies, the companies can achieve the cost savings or the operational efficiencies, as well as they can gain the competitive advantage. With respect to the risk management, the corporate level strategies involve assessing and managing the risks at organization level. The risk level will vary depending on the product group, depending on the market situation at any point of time. This includes identifying the potential risk that is associated with the diversification and with the mergers and acquisition or the market volatility and other strategic decisions. Effective risk management strategies can help to mitigate the threats or uncertainties. So it may not be completely can be avoided, but at least it can be minimized, ensuring a long-term sustainability of the organizations. With respect to the competitive dynamics, corporate level strategy takes into account the competitive dynamics of the industry and the marketplace in which the organization operates. It involves analyzing the competitors or the market players, those who exist in the industry, the market trend and practices, and the industry forces to develop the strategies that position the organization effectively. Understanding the competitive dynamics, it helps the organizations to identify the various opportunities uh, that is available in the marketplace in order to take a decision on differentiation and gaining competitive advantage, as well as for strategic positioning of the product or the service. With respect to the external environment analysis, the corporate level strategy, it needs a thorough analysis of the external environment, including the factors such as the market trends, the customer behavior, the technological advancements, regulatory changes, etc. By understanding the external forces, the organizations can adapt the strategies to capitalize on the opportunities and mitigate the potential threats. Based on the external environmental status, the organization can use the various management tools that is available to in order to take a decision before formulating the appropriate relevant strategy. In terms of long-term perspective, corporate level strategy can take the long-term perspective orientation and focusing on the sustainable growth, the value creation over the time period. It involves setting the strategic goals and objectives in order to align with the organization's the mission, that is the present purpose of formation of the organizations in terms of product services is going to offer in the marketplace, and who are going to be the target set of consumers, etc. And with respect to vision, that is the futuristic plan for the next 5 or 10 years, and the marketing, making the strategic decision accordingly, that will support the long-term success, even if they may involve in a short-term sacrifices or the risks. With respect to the concept of flexibility and adaptability, the corporate level strategy acknowledges the need of flexible and adaptability in a very dynamic business environment, because the things are changing very fast. External marketplace is turbulent, hence the it is very much uh, relevant to make it more flexible and adaptable to different situations, and the organizations must be willing to adjust their strategies and make strategic shift as market conditions change. New opportunities that will come, or the competitive landscape evolves. Being responsive and adaptable to the changes is very much crucial and inevitable to maintain the competitiveness and relevance with respect to the situation and time. The stakeholder management relates to the corporate level strategy, considers the interest and expectations of various stakeholders in the organizations, like the vendors, those who are supplying raw materials, the employee of the organizations, the consumers, those who buy the company's product and services, the communities, the regulatory bodies, the financiers, the insurance providers, the consultants, those who provide the advisory services. The effective stakeholders management involves understanding their needs and balancing the conflicting interest, as well as incorporating their perspectives into the strategic decision making process. With respect to the concept of ethics and corporate social responsibility, the corporate level strategy also encompasses the considerations of ethics, that is very much essential present situation, as being closely worked by the stakeholders about what is going on with respect to the business operations in the organizations, how it is going on, etc. And the corporate social responsibility, that is the contribution, what is the contribution of the organizations towards the society or community at large. So with respect to this, even the social audit is also carried out by the government to find out what percentage of the profitability is contributed towards the CSR activities. Organizations are increasingly expected to operate in a social responsible manner, addressing the environmental concern. As no, there are very much this is very much burning issue regarding the environmental protection. So, what are the measures being taken by the organizations with respect to the not polluting in any manner, whether air pollution or water pollution or noise pollution? So, it should take the preventive measures accordingly, promoting the ethical practices, that is the ethical approach, thinking, and also conducting the business operations and contributing to the well-being of the society. Integrating ethical and responsible practices into the corporate level strategy helps to build the trust and better understanding among the stakeholders, the enhanced reputation of the organizations with respect to the brand image, and also create a sustainable value by the organizations as a role model example for the stakeholders as a whole. With respect to the continuous learning and improvement, the corporate level strategy involves a commitment for continuous learning, improvement, and also it is a continuous process of improvement carrying out in product, process, and services, and also to bring innovation, that is through creative ideas, and also the very valuable feedback and suggestion given by the experienced stakeholders of the organizations. Organizations must stay updated with respect to the industry trend and practices, the technological advancement that is taking across the world with respect to a particular product or service industry, and also the market dynamics to adapt their strategies accordingly. Embracing a culture of learning and fostering innovation enables the organizations to stay competitive and also seize new opportunities time to time. And also they can compete in a better way with the in the industry and win the mind of the target set of consumers. In overall, the above relates to the complexities and considerations of the corporate level strategies play a crucial role in shaping the direction and success of the organizations. It involves making the strategic choices about diversification decisions, that is whether the company will diversify to related product and services or unrelated product or services, or also decision about the vertical integration, whether it is a backward integration or forward integration, and also decision about the merger and acquisition, which organization they want to take over and acquire for its future plan, and also the resource allocation by way of budgetary support and provision made to conduct various activity in various functional departments of the organizations, and partnerships to create the sustainable competitive advantage in order to build its strength in terms of the resources, drive long-term growth as well as profitability, which is very much inevitable. With respect to corporate level strategies, which creates the value for the various stakeholders and addresses various issues of the multi-business organizations as a whole, and it deals the following the issues like what should be the nature of the nature and value of the organizations, what are the aim objectives in creating the value for the shareholders, and what type of business the organization should continue in producing product and services, and who are going to be the target set of consumers, and what are the CSR activities it is planning to carry out, what should be the scope of the activities, and whether divestment is required or not, and what expansion is required in terms of future plan plan for growth, what structure, culture, and system and processes are required in order to carry out the business intended business activities and operations, and how can the corporate center add value as a whole. Then with respect to the major components of the corporate level strategies, the things like the growth or the directional strategy, because so far the concept of strategy is concerned, it relates to the future plan orientation of the organization, and it gives a direction to the organization in which it should move, uh, from retrenchment through stability, and the methods and approaches to accomplish the same. With respect to the portfolio strategy, the plan to establish the positions in the different industries and achieve diversification, and also locating the value chain activities, that is making the entire chain market oriented by adding value in its product, process, and services at each and every stage of the chain by the various chain actors or the chain partners, and selling activities, the also the portfolio in efficient, bringing efficient allocation of the corporate resources. The various resources includes the manpower, the financial resource, material resource, the technology, as well as the competency of the management and the information resource. Link business and to build up the strategy. With respect to corporate parenting strategy, to capture the cross business strategic feeds, as well as to gain the competitive advantage by sharing the technology, by a way of improving the efficiency of the purchase of various products by the company through by the purchase department, and also the operating facilities, the distribution channel design, but that is to improve the efficiency of physical distribution process to ensure timely availability of the product at the right time, right place, and also the with respect to the core customers, the target set of customers to whom, for whom it has designed, developed its products and services. It also relates to how organizations allocate their resources, the entire different type of resources as a part of the internal factor analysis, and also manage the activities across the portfolio of various product group. When you discuss about the nature and scope of the corporate strategy, the organizations undergoes a thorough growth to maturity, revival, as well as decline. The grand strategies during the organization's life cycle. It is similar to the concept of product life cycle. The organizations also has got the goes different stages, that is termed as the organizational life cycle. The stability and the consolidation, the process of expansion and growth, then the process of divestment or retrenchment, and also approach that is called termed as the combined combination of the above. The core and the corporate of the corporate strategy is how to achieve these objectives and services focus on the profit creation by way of adopting appropriate and relevant strategy at the right time. With respect to the major economic reasons for the strategy selection are exploiting the operational and financial economy of scope, because that is utilizing its existing infrastructure. A company is planning to do more business. The existing setup and manpower is best utilized through economy of scope, and avoiding the uncertainty and increasing the efficiency also is very much essential. Management skills, creating the corporate advantage, and also as an economic reason, the long-term profit potential of a uh, business or organizations for the future, and it is as a continuous process. The non-economic factors for choice of corporate strategy are the dominant view of the top management, the employee incentives to diversify, then a desire for more power and also to have a better management control, the ethical considerations to approach thinking and adapting ethical activities, and also the overall the decisions for CSR activities, conducting corporate social responsibility as a part of the corporate responsibility. With respect to the types of corporate strategies, the stability strategies includes organizations to continue the business with its current strategy at a corporate level with the present product and markets, and satisfied with the incremental growth in a continuous manner, keeping in view the market situation and competition, no further investment for the new factory and capital assets, and gain market share rather than want to consolidate their position before planning for the next phase of expansion. So this is situation which the stability strategies is followed under these prevailing situations. With respect to the growth strategy, when the organizations perceive that the resource availability is adequate and high level of past financial performance, it happens by diversification at the corporate level for value creation through economy of scale as well as economy of scope, and also concentration at business levels. So the concept of economy of scale and economy of scope is very much relevant from management point of view for future growth and to bring efficiency in its business operations. Sometimes diversification for the government policy as per the government guidelines that is coming for relevant and applicable to across various industries, and the performance problems as well as the uncertainty about the future cash flow when they anticipate that maybe some problem may arise with respect to the funding support. Then diversification is a risk management tool. As you know, across the companies, they diversify to related or unrelated product or business in order to diverse their risk level uh, across various businesses across various industries. Risk plays a key role in selecting the strategy. So, what should be the level of risk the company is prepared to take by conducting a particular business is things are decided as a matter of policy decision, and hence at the corporate head office, and hence continuous risk evaluation is made, risk level evaluation to gain to strategic advantage. The internal development by investment in the new product and services by way of the NPD process, the new product development or new service development process, which undergoes various stages, starting from idea conception till the commercialization of the product or service. The customer segments and internal expansion, etc. With respect to diversification, which can be made by acquisition or merger or joint ventures with other organizations. Organization can follow the strategy of vertical as well as the horizontal growth approach and strategy. Then with respect to the retrenchment strategy, many of the organizations experience deteriorating financial position due to a wrong decision at the corporate policy decisions made at the corporate head office. The organizations focus to bring a turnaround, complete change by improving the competitive position or divest or bring and turn around, complete reform and complete change. It focuses on the operational improvement when the rate of decline is very slow. With respect to the combination strategy, the three generic corporate level strategies can be used in combination. That it is designed to mix the growth, retrenchment as well as the stability strategy. An organization adopting the combination of strategy sometimes may find it is wise to adopt a combination of all the three strategies. With respect to stability strategy, when it decides to serve the same market with the same product, the approach is how to penetrate and expand its market base and customer base and thereby improving the business and turnover. It continues to pursue the same objectives uh, what was said during the formulation stage. It concentrates its resources in order to a narrow product market to develop a meaningful competitive advantage and the focus on bringing efficiency. Or it is a defensive strategy as the products, markets, and functions, which is remain unchanged, continuing with the same approach. Sometimes the organizations are constrained by way of the government regulations, change in the regulatory parameters of the government or the stakeholders' expectation level, which is changing. Large organizations, they follow the combination of the strategies uh, in order to take leverage out of the situation. But small ones, however, reduce the risk and try to defend their position and status in the industry. With respect to the conditions favoring the stability strategy, the industry or the economy is in turmoil with volatile environment. And also the stability strategy is support depends on the uncertain conditions when the organizations does not see anything better in the future and they find a major threat to itself or to the industry as a whole. The organizations they need to consolidate, to strengthen its gains before pursuing the growth strategy. And the organizations is content with the present level of functioning and performance and also with the incremental growth that is taking place. With respect to the industry, which is in a mature stage with very few or no growth in the sign is noticed. The approaches to stability strategy the organizations choose is based on its objectives as well as the circumstances. In during the holding strategy, the following situations arise that is need to for an opportunity to rest and consolidate after the growth of the turbulence and also an uncertain or the hostile environment until there is a change is noticed. with respect to stable growth, avoiding the change for the indecision or the long-term strategy in mature environment as a small business in a small town with a very less competition and the slow market penetration, adding new product and new services, carefully expanding its market base as well as customer base. And the the organizations, those who adopt the penetration strategy in the introduction stage of a new product and new service, which is preferable, they comparatively fix a very low level of pricing in order to attract the consumers towards its product or service, and also to in order to penetrate to each and every pockets in the entire marketplace. With respect to harvesting strategy, organizations with a dominant market share, they take advantage for its future business expansion, and also it is more suitable. Harvesting strategy is more suitable to generate the case as the as a matter of objective setting by selecting price increase and reducing the cost. So that is mostly during the growth stage when the industry is growing, very attractive, lucrative for the market players. Each and every market players try to increase its production and also increase its price and simultaneously reduce its cost to gain higher profitability of the situation, take advantage of the situation. And profit or end game strategy relates to capitalize the situation, to replace the old and obsolete product, obsolete technology without any further investment and transition into the new technology. A huge number of products with older technology in the market will create a demand for spare parts, as has been seen when in a car market when Maruti has made Maruti 800 is a older model, and they have switched over to various new models. So the largest selling car, that is Maruti 800, they are able to sell a good volume of and turnover of spare parts for the existing vehicles that is running in the road. With respect to the expansion strategies, the growth opportunities in the organizations with expansion is very much crucial for survival and existence. So it is designed to maintain the competitive position in rapidly growing national and international markets, as well as the expansion strategy is necessary to successfully compete and survive and for a long-term growth perspectives of the organizations. Expansion strategies allow to maintain competitive advantages, growth of the business organizations entailing, which entails the realignment of its strategies in the product market environment. The growth approaches includes the intensive expansion, the integration, diversification, as well as the international operations, expanding its business horizon through various countries across the world. Then with respect to the conditions to prefer for expansion strategy under the following circumstances and situations. The first one is the organization, when the organizations having high growth objectives, when they foresee there is a very high level of growth taking place in the industry, obviously that is the right stage and right time when the organization will try to increase its production volume and also to try to take advantage of the growing business or the industry situation. And with respect to the new opportunities in the environment, when they find a very good demand for a particular product or service that is taking place, the high growth potential, obviously they will like to take and grab the situation in the right time by entering and expanding its business. Continue to maintain the market leadership. So that is enjoying the highest market share in the industry and maintaining its leadership position uh, by any means. And sometimes, even though they can sacrifice in one product, but in overall they are benefited. So, but the prime ambition is how to maintain the leadership position in the industry, securing the highest market share. Then also it also the conditions of expansion is favorable when the volatile situations in the industry is not cannot be exactly anticipated, but to some extent we can estimate that is can be made. Then this with respect to the surplus resources that is available, the company would like to utilize in the best manner by expanding its business horizon to closely related product or services to utilize its resources. And also with respect to the regulatory environment, if they find that it is very much favorable um, policy of the government and encouraging to enter into a particular industry and grow, then that is maybe a very much uh, attractive for industries to expand their business. With respect to expansion through intensification, it relates to safeguarding the present position and expanding the current product market space to achieve the growth target. And also the intensification approach concentrates on primary business line and look to meet the growth objectives by increasing the volume of business operations across various product groups and business units of the organizations. It can be accomplished in different ways. The first one is termed as the market penetration, and second is market development, and the third approach is by way of product development. For internal expansion, the management can consider the following factors. Expansion option with highest net present value to be selected, higher NPV and higher ROI. The prediction of competitive behavior to decide how they respond to the organization's actions. And environmental conditions is also to be examined in order to decide the level of demand for the product and services, as well as what is the prevailing price that is in the as per the industry practice for a particular product. And organization strength with respect to the technological aspects, the level of technology that is being prevailing with the competitors, and the financial status or the position of the competitors in the industry, and also with respect to the managerial strength, competency also for expansion, whether these are available with the organizations or not. In a changing business environment, with respect to the demographic factors, the socio-cultural factors, the technological factors, political, and the other economic and other factors, product and the market development strategies is also considered for future expansion plan of the organization. If you see the ANSWER's product market expansion grid, it is very much useful to find the growth opportunities and intensification operations. And it has two different dimensions, that is with respect to product and with respect to market. If you see the first one is in a 2 by 2 matrix structure, 4 different situations arises. The first one is the product development, that is relates to new product and new services. And in this situation, the company continuously trying to upgrade the existing product and also introducing new product and services. Then second option available for as a growth strategy is the market development, that is exploring new markets for its existing product. The companies always looking forward to enter or penetrate through penetration strategy to the new markets which is not yet explored by the organizations, that is taken up by the marketing setup of the organization. With respect to market penetration strategy, the existing product in the current market in order to increase its market share. That is one of the strategies. And the fourth is the diversification strategy for expansion into new businesses through new products, new markets, or it can be in closely related product and services, or can be totally unrelated product and services. The main criteria or consideration being what is the level of potential or the demand that is existing in that particular product and market, how attractive it is to enter. And the combination strategy includes the product development, the and combined approach of product development, market development, as well as market penetration. Large corporates, however, they take the judicious decision of combining all these approaches for their future plan of action. Expansion through integration relates to the expanding externally by combining with other organizations for the survival as well as growth by merger and consolidation process. The acquiring organizations takes the assets as well as the liabilities of the merged organizations, which they are going to take up, and that terms and conditions and the legal procedures is everything is clearly demarcated with before taking up the acquisition process. And the consolidation process is the combination of two or more business units in order to form a new one. That depending on the situation, the management takes a decision to in the interest of the organization and future of the organization. Integration decided due to the following factors: due to increase in the market share. Sometimes they can take up the competing organizations, and that will help them to increase its market share, to avoid development of cost and new product, because that is very much available with the acquiring company, and reducing the risk level of entering a new business, which can be avoided. And to expedite the market entry process, they can take up the acquisition process, which is faster. And also an approach for better diversification approach to reduce the number of market players when they are taking up the as a acquisition process or merger process, their competitors, or that will help to reduce the number of market players in the industry, which is a benefit. With respect to the concept of vertical integration, taking over the activities of different stages in supply chain from material to finished product to end users to gain advantage over the rivals. So there are different approach. First one is called the backward integration, that relates to taking over the vendors' activities, that is the supply of raw materials, which is used as an input to the company. It helps in gaining control over its input side. And the second approach of vertical integration is termed as the forward integration. The forward integration concept relates to the company taking over the channel members and the for distribution effectively distribute its finisher final products to its end users or the consumers. The factors favoring the above, the favoring the vertical integration are taxes and regulations on the market transactions, which will reduce the formulation and monitoring contracts which can be made, and also between vertically related activities, they can be closely in the across the value chain to take benefit of the economy of scale as well as the economy of scope, which will ultimately increase the overall efficiency functioning of the business operations. And also, the vertical integration is adopted to reduce the investment towards the transactions. With respect to the alternatives to vertical integration, the alternate approaches are co-location facilities, the franchise agreement, the implicit contract, joint ventures, as well as long-term explicit contracts. If you see the horizontal integration, it is acquiring the additional business in the same line or the same level. It takes place in by internal or external expansion through merger acquisition for similar products and services. It also takes place by diversifying into unrelated business, product or services to reduce the level of competition. The benefits of horizontal integration are to reach the economy of scale, to gain the economy of scope by utilizing its existing infrastructure and manpower, doing more business, increasing bargaining power over the vendors and channel members, and also for cost reduction in global operation and brand extension activities, utilizing the same brand name to its new product and services. And the disadvantages of horizontal integration arises because of antitrust issues. The anticipated benefits may not happen in terms of economy of scope after integration, like sometimes the computer hardware manufacturers entering the software business. Explicit horizontal strategy do not arise from the bottom-up approach, rather should be reversed. With respect to diversification, it relates to expanding operations to related field, that is concentric diversification, or unrelated area or the product services, that is called conglomerate diversification, and adding product and services and spreading the market risk. The concentric diversification relates to, in this case, the organization expands its related industry, having synergy in existing line of business in order to share or gain special advantages such as with respect to technology, customers, distribution, location, product similarities, and government assets. It is appropriate corporate strategy when an organization having strong competitive advantage. And with respect to conglomerate diversification, it refers to an organization diversifying into unrelated products, services, or business where it involves and introduces new product and new marketplace with different strategy and technology, and to diversify the business risk through the profit gain from different business and profit centers. With respect to rationale of diversification, the organizations diversify to several regions because of economy of scale as well as economy of scope. It combined organizations use resources in order to attain the lower operating costs. Savings are due to low fixed cost overheads, different management capabilities, efficiency gain due to pools and risks and uh, financial resources, widen the market base, enhance the market power due to larger collaboration. The profit stability concept includes the acquisition of the new business can reduce the variations in profits by expanding the line of business when the core business depends on the seasonal sales, hence diversification to avoid instability of sales and profits due to seasonal fluctuations and change in the life cycle of the environment. The improved financial performance, the growth aspects, the counter competitive threats, access to latest technology, as well as the regulatory factors. With respect to alternate routes of diversification, like the first one is through merger and acquisition, diversification by strategic partnering, diversification through joint ventures, through long-term contracts and strategic alliances. With respect to the retrenchment strategies, it is a short-term renewal strategy to overcome the organizational weakness, to revitalize the resources and capabilities, to regain the competitiveness. It relates to the cost-cutting and restructuring measures, layoff turnout to get a turnout, and also to make objectives of the management and switch over from loss-making business, downsizing the strength of the employees to generate cash and shrinking selectively as a repositioning strategy. The different ways are like turnaround strategy in declining the financial performance caused by both internal and external factors with a gradual slowdown and financial decline. The survival strategy is in different approaches are divestment through spin-off, through restructuring and liquidation strategy. So in conclusion, the corporate level strategy refers to the overall direction and scope of the organizations, and the various highlights are like definition by the corporate strategy is very much making the things clear. The at the corporate head office, the strategic direction, it gives a strategic direction and also the scope of business operations. It also relates to the portfolio management, the synergy and integration, and merger and acquisition. It relates to strategic partnerships, organizational design, and in concluding, alignment with the business objectives, the adaptation to the environment, external environment, and through value creation and long-term sustainability, and also for decision-making framework. Thanking you for your patient listening.